The Barnabus Project by Terry, Eric, and Devin Fan. Barnabus lived in a secret lab. He was half mouse and half elephant, and he had lived in the lab as long as he could remember. The lab was hidden beneath perfect pets on a perfectly ordinary street. It was deep underground where no one would ever find it. The lab was where they made perfect pets. Except Barnabus wasn't quite perfect. He had been put in a part of the lab called failed projects. His home was rather small, but that just meant it was easier to keep tidy. The green rubber suits always fed Barnabas his favorite food, which was cheese and peanuts. And yet, he sometimes wondered about the world outside of his little bell jar. It was Pip the cockroach who told them stories about the world above. Stories about a sparkling silver like green trees and a mountain that reached all the way to the sky, lit with their own stars. And then there's Pip the cockroach. Maybe someday I'll sit on the grass and look at the stars, said Barnabas. And when he closed his eyes, he almost could. Impossible, said Pip. Nothing is impossible, said Barnabas, but secretly he worried. His friend might be right. At that moment, the green rubber suits came in. They turned on the lights and they checked each bell jar one by one. They made strange noises to each other. They peered and they poked. They peeked and they prodded. They put red stamps on all of the jars. Then they left. What do they all say? They all say fail. What does this mean, said Barnabas, looking up at the strange red stamp. It means you can be recycled, Pip said. That's what happens to all failed projects. You'll be fluffier afterwards, offered Pip kindly. And you'll be cuter. And your eyes will probably be bigger. I like having small eyes, said Barnabas, although he wasn't even sure anymore. Barnabas slumped in his jar. It wasn't fluffy enough, and his eyes were beady, but he liked himself just the way he was. And what if after he was recycled, peanuts and cheese were no longer his favorite foods? What if his friends didn't recognize him after? What if he no longer cared about green trees and mountains lived there?